In this video, I'm going to share the questions you should absolutely avoid asking in any job interview. Hi there, I'm your best friend at work and I'm here to share my advice, tips and support to help you thrive in your career. Welcome to my channel and let's dive right in. In my previous video, I talked about why it's important to ask questions at the end of a job interview and what questions you should consider asking. Watch that video if you haven't. Now, while in most cases it's certainly better to ask at least 1 to 2 questions at the end of an interview, there is a scenario in which you might indeed be better off replying with, "I have no questions." As the saying goes, better to keep your mouth shut and let them think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. In other words, not all questions are created equal. And while some people might say that there is no such thing as a stupid question, well, in the context of an interview, yes, it is possible to ask stupid questions that at best show you didn't do your homework before the interview and at worst end up sabotaging your chances of getting the job offer. So then what types of questions should you absolutely avoid asking? When you go for an interview at a company, it's considered an unspoken but basic rule that you should do some research into what the company does, what industry it's in, its main competitors, and so on. Doing this research and having this knowledge is not likely to earn you any extra brownie points, but the opposite, not doing any research at all and knowing nothing at all about the company, is likely to harm your chances of a successful interview. This is similar to the previous point and should be pretty obvious to everyone. Don't go to an interview not knowing what the job is about, at least on paper. Read through the job description at least, and better yet, if you can, reach out to your network or anyone you know at the company you're about to interview at to find out more about the role and what it entails. Amazingly though, I've heard stories from my peers about candidates who've turned up for interviews not really knowing what the role is about, and when they're asked the very basic question of, "Why do you want this role?" their answer was, "Oh, I just applied for it to give it a try. I don't really know what it's about." I mean, seriously? Asking about the frequency of overtime might give the impression that you're not willing to go above and beyond, even if that's not true. If, for some reason, this question came out of your mouth by accident, maybe you were in a panic, and this is the only question you could think of at the time, you would have to follow up with a really solid answer about how you don't mind putting in extra hours, how you did exactly that at your previous job to meet a tight deadline, or something along those lines. Timing is everything. Well, sometimes, but certainly this time. While it's good to show that you're driven and strive for improvement and advancement, the interview is not the right setting to be discussing how soon you'll get promoted. First of all, it's a little presumptuous because you haven't actually gotten the job offer yet. Some interviewers could take it that you're going to up and leave if you don't advance fast enough in the company, and often that's enough to derail your chances of a second interview or the job offer itself. If you do this, some interviewers could think that you're not sure about what you really want. Again, timing matters here. If you can sense that the interview isn't going well and you're not likely to get the offer, you can make a last-ditch attempt to salvage the situation by making an impassioned plea about how you really want to work for the company, that you understand you're not the right fit for the role, but you're open to other roles if they're available, and then highlight your soft skills like being a good team player, your communication skills, your negotiation skills, and so on. Now, the exception is if the interviewers ask you about it first. You can't be the one asking first. That actually happened to me. I interviewed for a particular role and the interviewers actually felt I would be better suited to another role in the same company. And yeah, I did get the offer for the other role. So it can happen, but it's probably not common. Again, this is quite presumptuous. Unless they've explicitly said they're going to make you the offer or they ask you first about your desired salary package, you should not ask about numbers at all. Look, the whole aim of the interview is to impress the interviewers, connect with them, Show them why you're the best person for the role. It's not about negotiating your salary. That usually comes later, when they make you an offer. The interviewers are not likely to be the right people to whom you should be asking these questions. These questions are either asked during the initial screening interview with the talent acquisition specialist or covered later when they are making you the offer. In general, positivity trumps negativity. So, don't ask questions that force the interviewers to share potentially negative information about the company or themselves. For example, asking, what do you dislike about the company or your co-workers? How can the culture at this organization be improved? Such questions have the potential to make your interviewers feel defensive and could irritate them, causing them to feel negatively about you. Or worse, if it's your potential future boss, don't make it personal and ask questions like, in what areas do you think you can do better as a supervisor? You wouldn't even ask such questions when you're hired, so definitely don't do it in an interview setting. Remember, a job interview is almost like a game. There are the official rules and the unspoken ones. There are things you do or say that can score you points and other things that might cost you points. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So, learn the game, practice the game, respect the game, and the game will reward you. Alright, so those are my tips on what questions to avoid asking at the end of a job interview. No one's perfect, and I myself have asked my fair share of dumb questions as well, especially early on in my career. But everyone makes mistakes, and the important thing is to learn from your mistakes, learn from that experience, and get better next time. If any of you have ever asked questions that you feel probably cost you the job, or if you're an interviewer who's encountered your fair share of cringe-worthy questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you found it useful. If you did, hit like and subscribe as it helps this channel to grow and helps me to know that what I'm doing here benefits you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.